Hello everybody, my name is Jenness and I'll be teaching you about GIS this semester. And just in case you're curious about who I am, here's a quick bio. I am a person who loves GIS, and I make most of my living these days as a spatial ecologist. This means I study the world around us from a spatial perspective. I do a lot of work these days studying spring ecosystems with the Spring Stewardship Institute here in Flagstaff. I look at topography around springs as well as the spatial distribution of spring types and spring characteristics. I also work with several other NAU forestry professors on their research projects, such as Dr. Carol Chambers' work with New Mexican jumping mice, work with Dr. Margaret Moore with her long-term patterns in grass and forb community, and I'm working with Drs. Andy Thode and Pepe Iniguez on some work studying landscape fire effects. And Pepe actually works across the building there at the Rocky Mountain Research Station. I do a bit of work with the Arizona Game and Fish Department, such as analyzing where invasive bullfrogs might be successfully removed. And in general, I love seeing patterns across the landscape. I love figuring out ways to study these patterns, and I really have a lot of fun in my job. I also love maps. A good map can be hypnotic. It's like looking into a campfire. And as Nelson Bryant said, a good map is both a useful tool and a magic carpet to faraway places. I've run my own business writing GIS tools for people since the late 1990s, and people will read about some interesting analytical technique in a journal and they want to try it out, and they'll hire me to write the tool, and I've done hundreds of these over the decades. One of the most interesting contracts I've had in this work is a long-running relationship with the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations. It's also known as FAO. I worked for them for about 16 years and even got to live in Rome for 3 months. I began by writing several tools to help developing countries in Africa analyze their watersheds, and then I spent many years analyzing marine aquaculture potential in the face of climate change. We try to predict where various marine species might be sustainably and economically harvested, considering rising ocean temperatures, current speeds, and, say, proximity to ports, and that's definitely been a high point in my career. I spent 16 years as a biological technician and a wildlife biologist with the U.S. Forest Service, beginning on the Cibola National Forest in New Mexico for 2 summers. There I would construct wildlife habitat improvement projects and get to fight occasional fires. Then for 14 more years I worked with the Rocky Mountain Research Station studying Mexican spotted owls. I'm also a local person. I grew up in a small town up on the Navajo Reservation named Ganado. And Ganado's a wonderful place to be a kid. Nothing but wild places all around right out the front door. We had our own little river and mesas to climb and canyon to shea right up the road, which I think is one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen. Good place to be a kid. And these days I also enjoy teaching GIS, and I've been teaching at NAU School of Forestry since 2012. And being a past graduate of the School of Forestry, it's a real honor to get to return and to teach this next generations of foresters, wildlife biologists, ecologists, and land managers. And that's who I am. And thanks so much for listening, everybody. If you have any questions or want to talk, you can reach me at one of these email addresses.